Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. Welcome back as every Monday and Friday to the latest Benidorm news update and the surrounding region update. Let's check out what happened lately and what is about to happen. First of all, we will be talking about the situation in tourism and short news, and then we'll have two full news plus the weather forecast. Let's start with the situation update and tourism in the region. As you all might know, right now is already the peak season start. In just a few days from now on, Hogueras will be over, which is a traditional celebration in Alicante. They are closing down a lot of different roads right now, so it's full of traffic. Trust me, we've been there just today, which is why this news update is going to be slightly later in the day. There's cuts of traffic, closed roads in the whole entire city center. There's giant sculptures being put in place, and it's an authentic tradition of our region that you just must see if you will be here on holidays, as you could have seen by these lovely pictures. Apart from that, restaurants, bars, cafeterias, shopping malls, the beach area, different types of sports, excursions, theme parks, all of this is also quite busy. We have some tapas and pinchos contest in Benidorm, as we've let you know in the previous news update, and it will be up until 23rd of June, so you still have quite some time to enjoy some typical Spanish tapas for a reasonable price in some specific locations of Benidorm town. On the official website of Municipal Hall plus the Visit Benidorm website, you have a full PDF that you can download and check out in which locations this will be happening and which kind of tapa you can try out for a special price. Not even necessary to say, but this is not the only thing you can try. There's so many very well priced bars and tapas places where you can enjoy a tapa even though it's not inside of this contest. Some of our most favorite ones are not expensive at all, and they're located in the traditional city center or slightly outside the typical tapas alley that a lot of tourists know and love. There is also an issue with taxis in Alicante airport. I'm telling you this because I know the vast majority of people obviously are getting shuttle buses, private transfers, but there are some that might be needing a taxi. Just so that you know, lately we've been dealing with this issue, and when people arrive, this is the picture by the way, there are no taxis. On some specific points of the day, there's no taxi drivers, and there is a queue of between 30 and 50 guests, future clients, waiting for the taxi to come. It feels like it's New Year's Eve, New Year's night, of how busy it actually is. And obviously people are not very happy about it, because in the airport there should be enough taxis to cater for everyone, but it's not the case, because each time more and more people are arriving, but the amount of taxi drivers is more or less left to be the same. Another thing that is not very pleasant is the second already 2 in a row fires happened once again in the Armanello area, which is the Rincon de Loige, the future great area of Levante part in Benidorm, which is where there's going to be many skyscrapers, many residential buildings, hotels, green areas, swimming pools, ponds, etc. All this area right now is being occupied by people who shouldn't be living in these houses, and they are the ones who are setting things on fire. It's not just happening by itself. We've had a major fire a year ago, slightly more than a year ago, I think, and last year it was quite big. It was concerning. There were sirens in Benidorm. And since then we had some small fires, and last Saturday we've had 2 of them in a row. One was in the morning and one was in the evening time. Obviously firefighters and police officers know already about this place. It's like a red hotspot for fires. So they're ready as soon as someone calls. People are checking it out constantly as well, those who live nearby. And once they see even a tiniest smoke, they're alerting all the authorities immediately, because we don't want to live what we've lived a year ago when we've had huge planes flying over our heads to the bay to pick up some water. There was a lot of smoke in the city and sirens for at least a few hours time. This is what's happening right now here in the area. The second news that I wanted to share with you all is about having a little bit of faith in good people here in Benidorm town. Not only here, but in general, whenever you go on holidays. This is a very nice story of when a tourist helped other tourists who had more than 6,300 euros in his wallet. As you hear, it doesn't mean he had all this money in cash, but this is what happened. A woman of around 58 years old found a wallet when walking by the beach promenade. She checked everyone around. No one seemed to search for anything, and she's seen some police officers just walking down the promenade as they usually do. There's quite a big police presence right now here in the area. If you are here, I'm sure you've noticed it. And she gave the wallet to the police officers with all the money in it, everything in it. Obviously, a few hours after, they found the authentic owner, because when you post that there is more than 6,000 euros in this wallet, surprisingly or not, a lot of people claim that it's actually theirs. But the legitimate owner went to the police to see if they found something, and he was able to take back his wallet with everything inside. There was some money in cash as it is, but also there was a bank check for the holidays. A lot of people do travel like this, especially over the advanced age, that don't use credit or debit cards as it is, that don't know how to pay with a mobile phone, for example, or don't have like accounts connected to a phone. What they do is they bring a check, and then when they need it, they cash it out in different types of banks here in the area, which is basically what happened. And instead of keeping the wallet and just going away, you know, just giving back the things without the money, or just leaving the wallet at the police station, that's it, she returned everything. And this was just a very, very nice story of a good end story, a positive story. But once again, I think it's not even necessary to remind you that this is only one, probably one of the 5 that end so well. The other 4 of the 5 will not end so well. Thus, when you go on holidays, especially now in the peak season, remember that not all people are good. As in every touristic destination, there might be some thieves, there might be someone, pickpocketers, who will be willing to grab some of your belongings. So whenever you go to the beach, don't bring a lot of things with you, just the necessary, strictly. If you want, you can grab your credit card or debit card or your phone, some bit of money, and buy these waterproof cases and bring them with you to the beach. Like this, you can have them on you, and you won't be afraid that someone might steal your belongings. So just get a towel. That's basically it. And maybe some bottle of water or something, but not the expensive belongings. Don't leave them by the beach. The second one, don't bring expensive jewelry with you. And if you are going to some places that might be crowded, leave your bag right here in front of you, not on the back, not here on the corner of any side, but in front of you. This is the best, especially when going to the Sundays and Wednesdays market, when going to theme parks, when wandering around the old town. You know, that's what you should be doing, so that you would keep your belongings safe as possible. The last news that I wanted to share with you all is about Imserso in Benidorm. If some of you still don't know about it, Imserso is a special group that was created in order to allow those who are retired already and do not have a high pension to still have an opportunity to go away somewhere in lower seasons, starting from late autumn, winter time, and early spring, for very, very cheap prices, as cheap as 250 euros for a whole entire week, or even 2 weeks of stay in, for example, Benidorm town. This was an authentic saver for a lot of years in a row for our region, because in winter, that is how hotels survived. In winter, our region didn't receive so many tourists. It was very quiet. Thus, hotels either closed down and finished contracts for people who were working in them, or received these inserso tourists who are pensioners, basically. What happens is that right now, according to the OSBEC, which is our association here in the area for hotels industry, what they're saying, and what a lot of people are saying who work in hotels industry, including myself, is that hotels are not working to gain profits any longer. They're working in winter with inserso so that their loss would be as minimum as possible. This is what's happening right now, and a lot of people, especially pensioners, they don't get it. They feel that it's how it should be, 200 euros for a whole entire week of stay in Benidorm in a 4-star hotel with a full board, drinks, wine and water included, excursions included, the transport included. That's what they genuinely feel, because that's what they were used to receive even decades ago, especially those of slightly older generations. This is how it went. We still have the same prices as 30 years ago for inserso trips. That is absolutely bizarre. Prices did not change, but clients changed. Hotels changed as well. And the most important thing, the expenses changed. The prices for food, for drinks, electricity, water, everything to sustain the whole process of accommodating the guests is way more expensive than it used to be before, especially 30 years ago, 3 decades ago. By then, obviously, hotels were getting some profit, but now they're working at a loss. And people don't seem to believe it. I'm not talking about international tourists, but mostly national ones, the retired people, older age generations, they do not seem to believe it. Right now, almost every second, every third hotel, if you take all of them in Benidorm, have done some kind of refurbishment inside. Melia Benidorm, for example, is changing the whole entire garden. It's incredible. The Rosamar Benidorm full entire hotel has been changed, and it's gorgeous. Different new hotels like inside, which has changed. Hotels from Magic Costa Blanca group that change stars. Others that go from 3 to 3-star superior, or even 4-star hotels, or 4-star superior. There's way more luxury of a kind, there's way more quality places, brand new design, better types of food, less all-inclusive and more a la carte, with just offering breakfast and dinner or full board maximum. This is what Benidorm is changing into right now, and these prices are simply not sustainable any longer. There are around 55 right now 4-star hotel in Benidorm, and if you take into consideration how many people are actually living residents of Benidorm, this is a huge amount of tourists that we are receiving. And 55 only 4-star hotels, and how much of them are 4 superior? There are a couple of 5 stars here, 3-star superior, 2-1 pensions, apart hotels. There's so much more than just that. But this number actually shows you that hotels are seeking more quality now, and many of the hotel groups are actually saying that for this autumn already, they will not be working with these types of prices, because it's absolutely not worth doing. So it's better to close or to put some deals for this winter for people, because we used to have, as they call in Spain, estaciones, like stations, like a winter part and then summer season. But now with the weather, with all the changes, shifting tourism, we don't have these anymore. There's barely any difference, in a sense that it used to be very empty in winter and very full in summer. Now it's very full in summer, very full in summer, and quite busy in winter. So a lot of the hotels are not closing down any longer, even without the inserso. There are specific areas such as Alicante, maybe Gandia, slightly northern parts of our region, that do depend fully on inserso, but Benidorm doesn't. Thus, hotels can actually have this decision for themselves and see, maybe starting from this year, if nothing changes, we will not be having so many Imserso groups out here because it just doesn't make any sense. I feel sorry for all the pensioners who were coming here, but it's just everything is more expensive, and 200 euros for a week's or 10 days trip to Benidorm, that is absolutely insane. It shouldn't be like this. Now let's talk about the weather forecast. What is waiting for all of you who will be coming to Benidorm, Costa Blanca region, on Spain in general shortly? We do have quite high temperatures in the area of Andalusia, Granada, Sevilla as usual. Here in our region, I must say that it still feels all right. On the sunshine, you cannot be such a really long time without a sun hat, without some water or something refreshing yourself, but at least it's not this suffocating weather as we used to have previous year. By now we've already had several heat waves, but this year it's not the case as it is, which makes us hopeful for this summer. Hopefully it's not gonna be as horrible as it was the previous one, when we've had 70-80% of humidity and 46 degrees of real feel some of the weeks. Hopefully this year is not going to be the case. Fingers crossed. Today it's very sunny, it's very nice here in the country, and there's going to be some rain coming from north parts, and it will be raining in a lot of parts in Spain in the next few days. Here in the region it shouldn't be. There might be some clouds, but it shouldn't be raining, at least for now. Today we've had around 29-30 degrees. On the sunshine might be slightly more than that. Tomorrow 2 degrees more, so 30-31, and this is how the week will go. This is the usual temperature for this moment of the year, for mid towards the second half already of June, and the water temperature is still increasing, and it will be doing so for quite some time up until September month. Today is 22.5 degrees, ideal for swimming already. Benidorm's beach water is slightly warmer than, for example, it is in Albir or Altea, so bear that in mind if you go for a lovely swim. Thank you for accompanying us on today's latest news update. We wish you great holidays, and we'll see you in a new video here on the channel. Bye, dears.